by my command, every road in Francis shall be open to you henceforth. As a member.
With the new Netflix anime series of dragons, Dogma, just about to launch a few days from when this video was put together, I decided to take a swing down memory lane and revisit Dragon's Dogma for the first time in a long while. If I had to be honest, I would definitely put myself in the camp of people who hold Dragon's Dogma in pretty high regard. The game isn't one of the best games ever made by any stretch, but it was/is a really enjoyable RPG that has a lot of potential to become a big franchise, if Capcom would ever make another one, besides that Dragon's Dogma Online thing. Revisiting Dragon's Dogma was a pretty interesting experience, as the game basically lined up with my nostalgia perfectly. The great aspects of the game, like the pawn system and the great class system that provided some good progression and memorable RPG classes, Magic Archer is still really cool. Still were fun to play around with. Taking on monstrous foes like the Chimera, Cyclops, and my personal favorite, the Golem. I mean, he shoots out laser beams. Provides some fun action that gets better the deeper into the game you get. The game just finds a way to get its hooks in you, and the next thing you know, you've played for a few hours. Dragon's Dogma is really an oddity in my opinion, because as much as I really love the game, it still is a game that is very rough around not only the edges, but pretty much most of the surface. It's not really a beautiful game to just watch unfold, as a setting, characters, and just overall design feel very traditional fantasy and sort of dull. I'm not even a big D&D person, and even I could tell that the game feels pretty inspired by classic D&D and a little bit of Berserk as well. One of the aspects that nostalgia had oh so graciously blurred out for me was just how unforgiving the game could be at times. You will die a lot in Dragon's Dogma, and sometimes it won't be fair. I would set out to go on a grand adventure exploring Granzis, only to be killed by some bandit an hour later, and reload back at the gates of the town that I began my adventure at. Trust me, Dragon's Dogma can be a fun experience one moment, and in a matter of seconds, be a very unenjoyable one. The pawn system is one of the shining systems in the game, and it plays a big role in making the game feel like you're playing a somewhat limited tabletop RPG. As much as I like the system though, the pawns themselves can be incredibly annoying. Most of it has to do with them repeating the same effing lines of dialogue over and over. You will hear about certain things a billion times, and you will slowly lose your sanity in the process. If I'm being honest though, the pawns aren't the only ones with annoying dialogue, as the game as a whole has really annoying Old English speak to it that I really do not like. Sorry, Shakespeare. Rest in peace.
Tonight the fisher knight leaves the humble shores of home for the heady depths of court. Pray, let this token from humble Festi garner favour with the leviathans within. Oh, tut, no time for thanks, friend. The Duke awaits. Sail on, dear knight.
Aspects like the limited fast travel options and the uninspired quest variety are certainly things at the time that may have been okay when Dragon's Dogma first launched, but I'm a big baby gamer now, and I need every excuse to get rid of tedium. My revisit of Dragon's Dogma was a good reminder of why this game was a cult classic. It has some really not fun elements to it that either by design or by lack of budget end up hurting the experience. Dragon's Dogma kind of sucks, but it's also pretty good at the same time. If I could attempt to explain why, even with all the warts that Dragon's Dogma has, that so many people ended up really enjoying the game, it would be that the title does a great job of putting players in the mindset of going on adventures. These adventures will sometimes lead to good things, like a new weapon or shield, or discovery of a cool location, or a fearsome foe. However, these adventures could also withhold many misfortunes, like getting kicked off a cliff, squeezed by an ogre, or just slowly dying from poison. A good adventure doesn't only have good things happen along the way. Sometimes a little resistance or adversity is crucial in making a normal trek across a fantasy world feel like a memorable journey that is worth retelling back at the local tavern. Dragon's Dogma isn't always a beauty at every moment, but it gives players an addicting drip feed of what a memorable fantasy adventure can feel like. That is why I, and many others, enjoy this rough-looking game so much. So give us Dragon's Dogma 2, Capcom. Give it to us. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Except for you, pawns. I don't want to hear anything from you. No comments from you. Got that. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.
Him who knows that I know what he seeks to know, knows it well, while he who knows not what I know, or know not.